Okay, so don't freak out, but I did spend a lot of time doing this. We're probably gonna have to chat soon. Whoa, boys.
Because of legal reasons, all I'm allowed to say right now is this. Do not believe what you're hearing online.
A Faze Kay reportedly filed a cease and desist against Coffeezilla.
Which is why I'm making this video, to inform the boys, Fraser's law firm, that unfortunately, I'm gonna miss the deadline, boys.
Now, where it gets very, very interesting is also the accusation surfacing around what seems to be a former FaZe Clan manager known as Jordan Galen.
There's even more to this, okay? Because Sam Pepper, before any of this happened, was involved in his own pump and dump scandal. And I say, somebody investigate Sam Pepper. On last week's Mom's Basement, you know what that kid did, Sam Pepper?
What?
He privated his Twitter.
Guys, this has gone so beyond social media drama at this point. Like, there's legal implications for these guys, I'm sure.
All of these people making videos think that they know the truth and that they know who's responsible when they just don't.
All right, guys, welcome to the final part of our story on Save the Kids. It's taken a while. We got here. Save the Kids was a crypto charity coin, as many of you know, that turned out to be a scam. It was promoted by some of the biggest influencers in the world, and for the past few weeks, Barely Sociable, Mutahar, and myself have been working to uncover the truth of what happened. This will be my final contribution to the story. So far, we've given everyone a lot in terms of evidence, but I think it's time to zoom out a bit. And so in this finale, I'm going to try to make it so that everyone can understand it and see this whole thing for what it was. And I'm going to be trying to create, using the best available information, a narrative on what exactly happened. Who changed the anti-whale code? Who started the coin? Who's been running these deals? I'll do my best to answer all of those questions, but bear in mind, you have to understand that many of these people with key information aren't talking. They're scared of law enforcement. Some of them might even be on the run, and others are just simply lying to me. But I'm not just here to talk about who's guilty. I also want to clear up anyone who got caught up in this. But anyways, without further ado, let's get to the bottom of what is, in my opinion, the most complicated crypto scam of this year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10 million studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, the internet detective. And where we last left things, we didn't know who the mastermind was. We had key players. We also had some people who sold some Save the Kids token, but didn't have a pattern of malicious selling. And we also had a bunch of question marks, unknown wallets, and people who we really didn't know their level of involvement with this whole thing. And some people we didn't know if they were relevant or not. Remember, this guy named Manny seemed to be involved, but we didn't know who that was. And a lot has happened since that first video went live. The first thing was that nearly right after I put it up, I get hit up by none other than Manny. And he said his whole role in this thing has been misunderstood. He wasn't some big mastermind. He was just a connection guy.
Yeah, so me and Fraser were in this one group chat, and it's a paid to, like, you have to pay to get in, or you have to have like $1 million in crypto. And through there, he asked, yo, I need a dev. And I'm like, I have a dev. And that brings me to Lucas. That was my role. I was hands off from there pretty much.
All right, so we can kind of cross his name off. It isn't a lot, but it's a start. There are a lot more names we have to check into. So the next thing we did was hunt for more wallets of people who were involved. And that's when we got pinged by one of the founders of Moon Portal. Remember, this was one of the scams that was promoted by a lot of these so-called influencers. And this developer told us that influencers ruined his project. And because of that, he decided to give us the wallets of several famous influencers who were involved in his pre-sale. Among them, Ricegum. So this is it, the alleged wallet. It looks like on June 6th, he got some money from the pre-sale, and 30 minutes later, he starts selling it off. Then he waits a couple hours and sells off the rest. So after a few hours, Ricegum has 7 kids to his name, which, based on the fact this guy's an ambassador of the project, is a pretty scumbag thing to do. However, looking through his other token history, this guy isn't a crypto mastermind. If I can be honest, Ricegum is, from what I can see, not smart. Even though he abandoned Save the Kids seemingly at his earliest convenience, I'd put him more in a similar category as Jarvis or Nikan, who we talked about last time as selling off some of their Save the Kids token, but not having a pattern of malicious selling. I think that's really important as we go through this. And pretty soon after we got this lucky break finding Ricegum, we got another lead when we heard that one of the influencers involved, Tico, wanted to volunteer his wallet, saying he had nothing to hide. We, of course, took him up on that, and here it is, Tico's wallet. Now, let me tell you up front, Tico is probably the only person in this whole story I feel bad for, because we have him on blockchain record putting in roughly $40,000 worth of crypto into Save the Kids token and then just not selling at all. As you can see, he bought some here. He even bought more from PancakeSwap and just held on to it as it tanked to basically zero. Which means that in all of this, Tico seems to be the only one who actually wanted to help save any kids. Now, as we were hunting for these other wallets, we found something that we didn't expect. See, our plan was to trace back the scams as we had in the past and talk to some of the developers. And among them, we kept hearing a name pop up, Jordan Galen. And I want to say, I didn't mention him in the first video because I had never heard of him before. I didn't even know he was involved in Save the Kids. But the more we explored projects beyond just Save the Kids, his name kept popping up as someone who is organizing these deals. Here, for instance, is a text from Jordan Galen to the Moon Portal team. Hey, Hazim, I was telling Gabe that officially confirmed is Faze Jarvis, Ricegum, me. Waiting on official confirmation from Aiden and Banks, and we'll circle back shortly. Now, this Hazim he addresses, I actually spoke to. He filled me in on how all this worked. Apparently, Jordan was the go-to guy on these guys' behalf. Now, to be clear, you guys got a lot of these influencers by talking through Jordan, right?
Everyone, or most of them other than Pomp and Rage.
Seems like a lot of influence. Who is this Jordan guy? Well, according to his LinkedIn, he is the senior talent manager at FaZe Clan. And he admits he was brokering crypto deals for talent such as Kay, Jarvis, and the rest. When I asked him about it, he said, quote, "This began with me answering emails that were sent into Frazier's inbox. After a few of the deals, I got in contact with a party who then brought in a bulk of the deals to me, and that's it." And you might be asking, what did Jordan get out of all this? Well, commission. According to him, and we were talking about Frazier's deals specifically here, quote, "After Frazier was sent the money, he sent me between 10 to 20% of what he got. There was never formal conversations about commission since Frazier just always took care of me on every deal we did." So it seems like Jordan Galen's the guy going out there, getting the deals, negotiating the terms. And this is later sort of confirmed when we found such a deal in negotiation. It actually fell through, so it never happened, but it gives you an idea of the numbers we could be talking about here. Kay was supposed to promote something called Ape Haven token. And at the time, they were negotiating to be paid over $500,000, of which $150,000 would have been part of a giveaway to promote the coin, which would have put Jordan's commission at around $40,000 to $80,000, with Kay's cut being $350,000, which isn't bad for a few tweets and a little promotion. And we actually obtained footage of this negotiation taking place.
We're super excited to get started. Frazier's ready to kind of start formulating and drafting his tweets for tonight.
Now, this negotiation goes on for a while of when these tweets are going out, but I noticed that Jordan Galen was doing most of the talking. And later, the call is wrapped up rather strangely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're down to go now, man.
Hey, we go to the moon tonight, and then we start going over to Mars, and we get all the way to Pluto. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir, mate.
I'll see you there.
All right.
Now, unfortunately, since this deal did not work out, we don't know if they made it to Pluto or not. But we know how these deals were getting to Kay and others. Jordan was hunting them down, but not just for FaZe members, for others like Ricegum as well. This brings up kind of an important question. If a talent manager for FaZe Clan was involved, did FaZe as an organization know about this? I've spoken extensively to everyone I could about this, starting with FaZe Banks. He immediately denied any knowledge, and after hearing what Jordan Galen had done, FaZe Clan promptly fired him. I asked Jordan Galen if any of these deals had crossed FaZe Clan's desks, and he responded, quote, "No, I didn't bring in the deals through the paths I usually did, and was working with talent directly. There were no agreements, so there was nothing ever to send FaZe legal to review, nor did FaZe get any financial cut on these deals." This corroborates what he'd tell me later. Jordan told me, quote, "There were no contracts either." Now, given all of this, I'm comfortable saying FaZe as an organization didn't know what was going on with these crypto deals, because it just kind of doesn't make sense. if FaZe knew, they'd want a piece of the pie. And the other part of this is that if they knew, they probably would have vetoed it, because why risk an $100 million plus brand for a 40 grand payout over here or there? You know, it doesn't make sense. But if you're a talent manager who's looking to get paid a little bit on the side, I don't know. I think that just makes a little bit more sense that way. And this doesn't mean that I endorse FaZe or I'm phasing up or whatever. I've seen so much flack online that this whole thing is a FaZe conspiracy and how FaZe knew and all this kind of stuff. And from what I've seen, that simply isn't true. But okay, if FaZe, the organization, didn't know, who did know? Somebody had to put this thing together. Who is left after we check off box after box? Well, 3 people seem to me to be at the heart of this. Faze Kay, who sent me a cease and desist letter shortly after my second video. You have Sam Pepper, who lived with Kay and has been known in the crypto industry for a while now as someone who constantly shills worthless coins. And of course, Jordan Galen, a rogue manager running crypto deals. And here's what I wanted to know. Okay, they're running this crypto game for a while where they post about a coin, get a bunch of money, immediately sell it, delete the posts. But how long was this pump and dump type scheme happening? How far did it really go? For this, I had to go deep on the blockchain. So I spent several late nights tracking down every transaction I could and trying to get to the bottom of this thing. And what I found out was that this thing went deeper than I ever could have imagined. Okay, so don't freak out, but I did spend a lot of time doing this. I know how insane it looks. It looks like I'm about to bring up Carol from HR, okay? But I'm not. This is genuinely the best way to visualize what we've found here. We mapped out the blockchain crypto transactions between 3 people we know about. Kay, we have Jordan Galen, and we have Sam Pepper. And we mapped these out in order to find out where their connections are. So let me tell you how this works. In pink are the altcoins. In purple are the main wallets. So here we have Frazier's main wallet. Right here we have Jordan Galen's main wallet. And up here, Sam Pepper's main wallet. And I also threw in Jarvis over here in order to show you guys the difference between a normal wallet and the rest of these guys. So over here, it's just one wallet and it's connected to 3 things: Save the Kids, Doge Elon, and Jordan Galen. Comparatively, look at someone like Kay. He's tied to nearly everything. Different wallets, different crypto coins. He's moving money between different accounts. Like for instance, this whale wallet for Kay. And what we've done is color-coded each wallet we believe these guys control. Kay, for instance, we colored in light brown. The wallets we believe Jordan controls in light blue. And the wallets that Sam Pepper controls in green, all in order to give you a better understanding of their operations. And the reason we went through all this trouble is because if I sat here and walked you through each and every transaction, you'd get lost, because it wasn't always their main wallets doing the sketchy business. Here's a small example. See, OXE40 here. Frazier funded it on May 7th by sending 5.1 BNB from his main wallet. That wallet then bought Pluto, which Frazier promoted. And then this wallet sent that Pluto back to 2 different wallets. One of them is Frazier's main wallet, and another one is a wallet he's linked to, OX881. Both of these wallets then immediately dumped that Pluto. But if I explain that to you with just wallet numbers and just in transactions, it's easy to get confused. But with this map, we can see how they're linked. And ultimately, it isn't about one transaction or another. That's not the point. The point is that these people aren't amateurs. So if they try to come out and tell you that they thought this was just like any other brand deal, or they didn't know what they were doing, or they're new to crypto, it's just not true. This scheme is incredibly complicated. Kay and Sam Pepper both have wallets the way a janitor has keys, and I believe they use them to hide the full scope of what they were doing. And the question is, of course, why? If you're not trying to cover something up, why have 5, 10, 20 wallets? Why shuffle your money around like you're playing a game of 3-card Monty? I think the answer is obvious. And what's also clear is that Kay and Sam Pepper, they worked closely together, because with things like Moonpub, we've previously discussed how Kay made roughly $100,000 from it, but Pepper was also involved over here. And the other thing we learned is that Jordan Galen over here, he seems to be instrumental in finding these deals for Kay. He has less wallets than either one of these guys, but he was key to getting these deals done. For example, Hazim, the Moon Portal developer we've heard from earlier, told me that when he reached out to Kay, Kay insisted on having Jordan involved.
He was actually the first one I reached out to, and he said that we had to have a conversation with Jordan present, so we hopped on a group call together.
Okay, so we know Jordan is tied up with Kay, and Sam Pepper and Kay are working closely together. And basically, they would run these crypto deals, sometimes in their main wallets, sometimes not. They'd promote these coins, dump these coins, and then delete the posts. But now that the stage is set, now that we've found out how this all worked, we're almost ready to save the kids. But first, I want to clear up something from the last video. In Mutahar's last video, we had highlighted some of the problems with these token giveaways, where some of the giveaways seem to go to wallets linked to Kay. For example, this wallet, which won 3 of Faze Kay's giveaways in a row in the exact giveaway amounts. We also highlighted when Faze announced a giveaway for the token MILF. Quote, I'll give $500 to a random person in 24 hours who likes this tweet. Good luck, and not financial advice. Now, who was the one person who got paid in MILF token in that 24-hour period? It was Jordan Galen. And we said at the time, this looks like giveaway fraud. But Jordan was adamant that no such giveaway fraud had happened, that this was his commission fee, he told us, not giveaway winnings, which, fair enough. Call it commission, call it whatever you want. The fact is, Jordan immediately sold that MILF token right after, as Kay was tweeting and hyping up these tokens. Now with that short correction out of the way, and now that you understand the key players and their history with crypto, let's talk about Save the Kids. All 3 of these guys, Kay, Galen, and Sam Pepper, bought into the pre-sale. But were they all equally responsible? Who's in charge? Well, as I was trying to figure it out, someone who I wasn't expecting suddenly reached out. We're probably gonna have to chat soon. Whoa, boys. Okay, sorry, I had to move. We had to go back in front of the screen for this. Obviously, when I saw this, my mind was blown. We've been trying to get a hold of this guy like forever. He's one of the key players here. So immediately I respond, hey, got time now? And then I gave him some contact information. And then for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes, I just see these 3 bubbles that are killing me. And my heart is just like pounding, because this guy could be the key to this whole thing, this whole Save the Kids thing. He's maybe the missing link. But then he replies, sorry, mate, moving. All this shit means the house closed down and everything. Will most likely be next week. Keep this between us until then. I don't want to create any unnecessary drama till we fully get to talk, start to finish, of what happened. I gotta tell you guys, being this close to it, this deep in the investigation, and almost getting this guy to talk only to be pushed off was just killing me. And because at this point we have to play a waiting game, right? But we did learn something. It seems like whatever friendship him and Kay had seems to have disintegrated, because moving out of Kay's house where they lived meant they wouldn't be working together anymore. But while I waited for a response for him to get back with me, I got sent an anonymous email that caught me off guard. In it was a recorded call with Lucas, the developer. You guys should remember him from the last episode. He designed the Save the Kids project code. He also changed the whale code, but said he was just doing that because he was told to.
Coffee, this is what I was told to do. I'm contracted. I don't know what to tell you.
And in this new recording, he finally points the finger at who told him to change that whale code.
So there's a big argument between the devs to change the code and the devs trying to not wanting to change the code, obviously explaining why this 24 hours is necessary. But there is a behind the scenes manager who mainly pushed this. This was Sam was pushing, trying to argue with the devs that the code should have been changed so it was a lot less limiting.
Whoa. So Sam Pepper was the one behind the whale code change. I asked Lucas myself, and he confirmed it. Now, full disclosure, I think the email containing that video about Pepper is from Kay, just anonymously. Now, I have no hard proof of that, but the tone of the email sounded like it was from Kay or his team. And it's worth knowing that as we move forward, because later it emailed me a bunch of really personal information about Pepper, like literally a photo of Sam Pepper seeming like he was just going out to his car or something, like he was being watched without his knowledge by some kind of a private investigator. But regardless, whoever was sending me this information, it was pretty obvious that I wasn't the only one investigating Sam. Other people wanted to know what he was up to as well. And then I got another email. I know, lots of emails here. This time from an ex-Sam Pepper fan who invested in the coin himself through Sam Pepper. He showed me that Sam was actually part of the promotion of this coin because he ran his own version of the pre-sale list. This is a list of people Sam Pepper got to put in money and got them Save the Kids before the public could ever get involved. Now, I analyzed what these people did with their coins, and it turns out a huge proportion of these guys dumped their coins 3 to 4 hours after launch, which may have been part of the cause for why the coin got rugged. But at this point, I'm thinking Sam clearly played a hand in the rug pull, in this whole thing turning out to be a scam. But right as I was thinking that he was responsible for everything, suddenly we get a response from Sam Pepper. It's long and full of PR, so let me give you the important part. I've been a paid consultant to Kay for 2 years. I took orders from him and had no authority independent of him. Everyone knows that. Kay does what he wants and doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do, even if others want him to do it. Everyone knows that too. The name, concept, and aspects of Save the Kids coin were Kay's idea, and he chose and assembled the team members he controls. That's what Kay does. Okay. Obviously, we have to take this with a huge grain of salt coming from Pepper, because everyone's playing this like PR game at this point. But what if there is some truth to this? Was Kay behind Save the Kids token launch? I mean, he made himself seem like another ambassador, but what if he's the one who launched it? Then I get sent this picture from Sam Pepper to confirm what he's saying. It's a message from Kay on May 21st. Founder of CoinMarketCap heard I'm starting this and reached out to call me later. Wow. Now pay attention to these dates here, because this is important. This was allegedly sent on May 21st, 2021, and presumably he's talking about Save the Kids here, because when you go look up the domain for Save the Kids, guess when it was created? May 20th, a day before. So a day after this SaveTheKids.io website is created, right here, Kay is contacted by the founder of CoinMarketCap. Now, I reached out to Kay to try to confirm this screenshot's existence, because obviously I don't trust Sam Pepper as far as I can throw him, but Kay didn't respond. But even without all this, right, everything does seem to point at Kay starting this coin. We know that he's the one who brought on Lucas the developer. We know he used Manny's connections. We also know he brought on Sam Pepper to mod this thing up. And you know what else? This giant pre-sale wallet that everyone's been sending money to, this one right here, it looks like Kay might control that too. It was active after the pre-sale money was sent, and even sent $20,000 to an address linked to Kay. All of this evidence points to Kay at least being the creator of this coin, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it seems to be Pepper who doomed the coin by changing the whale code. And of course, where does our good buddy Jordan Galen fit into all this? We know that he's been facilitating a lot of these deals, but on Save the Kids, his role does seem to be a little bit more low-key. He seems less involved. He initially insisted that he had nothing to do with the coin. Quote, "I want to be abundantly clear. I had nothing to do with the development, organization of talent, marketing, or anything to do with Save the Kids coin." I responded, "Why are you lying?" And then sent him a screenshot showing him trying to onboard a popular YouTuber onto Save the Kids. This text is from Jordan himself. Quote, "Hey, great to be connected. One of the talents I represent, Faze Kay, is one of the lead ambassadors for a new crypto token launch, Save the Kids. We would love to get this person involved." Now, I'm not showing their name because they declined the deal and I don't want to just drag them into drama for no reason. But the point is, he clearly was working on some of the organization of talent. Now, when I showed him this, Jordan backpedaled. He said, "If I tried to have anyone be part of the project, it would be because either Sam or Frazier requested I reach out to a talent to see if they were interested. But I am being very genuine when I say to you that I did not have any involvement, and I'm not lying to your face." Interesting. Jordan would later tell me that this is the only person that he approached with this deal, so make of that what you will. Going back to the wallet map, I think a picture is starting to emerge here, given our available facts, a story of what happened. So here is, in my opinion, what happened with Save the Kids token, given all this new evidence. I think all three of these guys were doing this crypto thing for a while, where early dumps meant big profits. Jordan is the deal guy, we've got Sam Pepper, and we've got Faze Kay being more of the crypto people. And then one day along comes Kay and he decides, you know what? I want to start my own charity coin. So he gets a bunch of big influencer friends on board using him and his manager Jordan Galen's connections. Then at some point, Sam Pepper is brought in on the team, maybe to mod this thing up, which seems to have been a critical mistake. Maybe Kay thought that because Sam Pepper and him lived together, his friend would act different for his project and not rug the coin. I don't know. But then Sam Pepper starts selling off a bunch of Save the Kids token to his own gang of people, and he receives in exchange a small fee of 1 BNB from many of these wallets, which he immediately then sends to his main wallet. Meanwhile, Kay is working on promotion and gets several famous influencers. This, of course, hypes up all of their fans who get their wallets ready for the big day. But right before launch, we have Sam Pepper, who approaches Lucas, the developer, with the idea of changing this whale code. Lucas says that he was just following orders and makes the change. And all of this dooms Save the Kids token from the very start. Then comes the day of launch. This project is supposed to be unruggable, but immediately the project gets rugged as sellers take advantage of Sam Pepper's code change. And then the price collapses. Sam Pepper's group seems to be one of the first to fully jump ship. 4 hours in, they were completely out. Kay isn't any better. He started selling 40 minutes after launch and continues selling until 24 hours later, he's out too. Out of what looks like to be his project that he started in the first place. Jordan Galen also abandoned the project early. He sold off within about 6 hours. Kay's influencer friends who shot this embarrassing promo, well, they also sold some or all of their tokens really quick. All except for Tico, of course, who didn't sell any. But with all of this sell pressure, the result is obvious. The project collapses. All the while, the fans of these guys are dumping money into a project that never had a chance. Except wait, that isn't the full story. There's a bit more. And I'm sorry for adding this in. It's 6 a.m. on video launch day, and I'm still getting new information on the fallout of this story. So I'm just gonna have to shove this in somewhere real quick because I've just found out that Sam Pepper fled to the US to go back to the UK. Here's the evidence. First, I found a new photo of Sam Pepper in the UK. You gotta appreciate the shirt he's wearing that says paranoid. Nice, Sam. Now, of course, you might say just because he's in the UK doesn't mean he's fleeing the country. It could be coincidental travel, and that's true. But here's another piece of information you should consider. Sam Pepper had a white Tesla Model 3 lease, a fact that was told to me by the person that I believe was working for Kay and was basically stalking Sam Pepper. Remember, they're the ones who emailed me a really weird photo of Sam. Now, they had told me that Sam sold his Tesla to a CarMax location in Escondido, California, right here. Now, the problem is, of course, I don't trust Kay, and they didn't give me much to go on, just a license plate number, which I confirmed was Sam Pepper's, but after days of searching, I couldn't confirm or find at CarMax. Not only that, when I approached Pepper, he denied it. I told him, I'm hearing from anonymous sources that you've sold basically everything, including your car. Is that true? He says, what? Lol. The conspiracies are getting out of control. I said, you didn't sell your Tesla to CarMax? He responds, I am completely lost to what you're on about. But eventually, the truth, of course, came out. I had an acquaintance in the car industry call these CarMax locations and get confirmation that Sam Pepper did have a lease on that white Tesla Model 3 and that he did sell it because we found his car at the Murrieta CarMax location, which is a 33-mile drive north of where we first heard he sold it. Here's our call confirming that.
Yes, sir. And it's actually in Murrieta. So Murrieta, California would have it.
And here it is on their website. We found this with the stock number we were given. It's the same VIN as Sam Pepper's car, meaning he really did break his lease about a year early. It's not yet available yet because of how recently it was sold. So Why sell your car? Why leave the country? And why lie about it? Well, obviously, I have my theories, but playing devil's advocate, you might say, maybe this is just all coincidence, right? You know, that Sam happened to travel to UK right after Save the Kids. He was deleting posts right after Save the Kids and privated his Twitter account right after Save the Kids and ended his car lease early right after Save the Kids and then lied about that fact. Maybe it's just all coincidence, but in my opinion, it looks like Sam Pepper is fleeing the United States to escape legal accountability for what happened. But I asked him about this, and he, of course, denies this categorically. He said, "You're very dramatic. I've been waiting for COVID to be in a place where I can travel. UK just released its mask mandate, and I haven't seen my family in years, several years. I private my Twitter as I'm not tweeting about crypto right now. And as there's clearly drama with influencers talking about coins, etc., I have hundreds of thousands of people who can still see it. And if you're saying that I deleted tweets, then you can see that too. Not much hiding or running going on there. I get that the storyline would further your story and make more of an interesting angle, but it factually isn't the truth." Now, worth noting, he did not address the lie about selling his Tesla or the fact he sold it at all. But I'm going to just have to let you guys decide what the truth is. Did Sam flee the UK? Or was this all part of a regular trip to visit the family he hasn't seen in several years? But anyway, guys, that's the new evidence. Now back to a more well-rested Coffeezilla. All in all, that seems to be the story of Save the Kids token. I approached Sam Pepper, Faze Kay, and Jordan Galen with my account of the events, and where I could, I've added in their side of the story. But besides that, I think something worth mentioning is the only person who shared even the slightest bit of regret so far was Jordan Galen, who responded to a question of whether he felt remorse and told me, "Absolutely. At the time, I was doing what I felt would make Fraser and the talent happy. I didn't want to upset anyone by not helping, so I helped get on some calls and negotiate deals, and one thing led to the next." Now, this obviously isn't the world's best apology, but coming from the guy who probably had the least to do with Save the Kids of these three people, it's at least something. You know, Kay, meanwhile, has dodged all responsibility and tried to pin it on Sam. Sam, in turn, has tried to pin it all on Kay, saying he's the mastermind. The reality is, without the other one, this would have never happened. Without Kay creating and hyping up this worthless coin, this could have never happened. And without Sam changing the whale code last minute, this also could have never happened. And the irony to me is that before this falling out, these guys were clearly working together in crypto, involved in the same coin. So don't let them fool you as they try to, point the finger at the other one. There's plenty of blame to go around for both of them. So there you go. That's the story of Save the Kids. Oh, and since I know everyone's going to be asking me about how much money everyone made, let me just get through this real quick. I just have no clue. I thought I did when I had just one wallet per person, but now that there's like 20 wallets, finding an exact number, unless you're like a forensic accountant, is next to impossible given how convoluted all these wallet transactions can get. You guys saw the board. But what I can tell you is that it wasn't a lot. Not on Save the Kids, at least. Pepper probably made the most money since he sold the earliest, but the real money to me seems like it was made earlier for these guys, back when Kay and Pepper were on the same team running these crypto deals. Moonpug, Pluto, Eclipse, Titscoin, Safe Galaxy. I think this is where these guys made their real money. We know already that these deals could easily net 6 figures for them, so they could be millionaires from this by now. And it's crazy to think that if Save the Kids had never happened, we wouldn't know the extent of these other stories. We wouldn't know how these influencers have been taking advantage of their fans. And obviously it goes beyond Kay and Pepper, right? Like just how many influencers have done this, deleted their tweets, and gotten away with it. It's crazy to think about. But hopefully this series has shown people that A, we need regulation in crypto for these promotions, and B, once it's on the blockchain, it's forever. So if you are an influencer who thinks that you can delete some tweets and never get caught, you might be wrong about that. We will eventually find you and we will expose you. And hopefully, eventually, maybe the cops will pay attention to what's going on here. I don't know, like the FBI, SEC, somebody else needs to get involved in this besides me. I'm just gonna be straightforward with you guys because I'm about to go crazy watching all this stuff unfold. So hopefully it's not just me finding you and exposing you. Hopefully it's those guys because I'm kind of tired of looking at the blockchain for now. Anyways, I think that's basically it for me. I'm going to go take a long nap, probably drink a lot. I'm out of here. See ya.
I know what you mean. this ain't what it seemed. Nothing but a trick, trying to sell me on a dream, but that was where you lost me. Wake up and smell the coffee.